But anyway, let's talk about now that you guys have taken algebra, right? And that is, algebra is really like the last math class designed for everybody, right, to pass their Regents exam, or, of course this year they got the exemption from that. So, but anyway, after algebra, there's some different choices now, okay? We start to diverge off into different paths, okay? Come on in. So after you've taken algebra, passed the class, and passed the exam or got the exemption on it, there are basically, forget about this for a minute, but there's two paths we can now take, right? There's one path that goes to what's called principles of geometry, okay? It's kind of a rigorous class, but it's not too bad, right? Because after algebra, in order to graduate here with the Regents exam, you need 3 math credits, right? Algebra is the first of them, and then geometry, and then algebra 2, okay? But there's 2 paths right after algebra to get those other 2, okay? So this path here, from algebra to principles of geometry, and then generally you'd go from there to algebra 2A, okay? That will satisfy your math requirements for state Regents exam, okay? Now, if you are looking for the advanced designation on that Regents exam, okay? It says, yeah, top kid, got put through the ringer for, 3 or 4 years, right? Go to the top of, any employer or college stack of applications or resumes. You go from algebra to regular Regents geometry, okay? This is the Common Core, okay, geometry. So you can either go here to principles, or I think you still call it basic geometry, or to this geometry, okay? Once you've taken this path, which presumably you're all here for this, right? It's a very rigorous class, okay? It's kind of tough. Up until this point, some of you are, advanced math kids, little kid school, and you've been told that you're very good at math, okay? You shouldn't have been told that, because sometimes, yeah, most of the time you're going to find out not really, okay? Because this is a tough course, it's a tough path, right? And it makes sense. You're going to earn an advanced designation on your Regents diploma. It's got to mean something, right? Okay? No, I'm not talking about what you need for science and any of the other courses like that, just math-wise, okay? So then after you get done with me, after I've crushed your hopes and dreams and pounded them into dust, maybe you move on then to Algebra 2, Regents Algebra 2, instead of the other Algebra 2A, right? And that's another challenging course with its own Regents exam. So there's 3 math Regents exams to take, right? So if you pass the class and the Regents exam, you have an exemption, and all 3 of those, you make your math requirement for the advanced designation on a Regents diploma, okay? But even this path, from here to, basic principles of geometry to algebra 2A, 3 math credits, you still get a Regents diploma, okay? Does that make sense? A lot of people aren't aware of this, so, and a lot of times kids will get stuck here in this geometry class and, oh my God, I can't, this is just too much, I'm not cut out for this, right? There's no shame in that. And they go to guidance and they get switched over to the other one so they can get the math credits in the back, okay? And that's fine. A lot of people think, oh, I don't want to be the one that switches over. It's okay, don't worry. It's not, like, if you find out math isn't, your strong suit, there's other things you're good at, I'm sure. It's no big deal. I got 2 sons, and one of them did the advanced path, and the other one, well, let's just say he's not going to take over the family business. Right? He's a good kid, though. He's got a lot of things he does well, right? There's no shame in it whatsoever, right? So hopefully that, and then after that, right, this dotted line, then you get into like your college level class where you get college credits and stuff like that. And in fact, this one here, I teach financial algebra. If any of you are interested in that later on when you get to 11th or 12th grade, that's kind of a neat class, stocks and bonds and business organization and stuff like that if you're interested. But anyway, so does anybody have any questions about the path you've all taken now? Right, which is not too late to change, right? If you decide, like I said, I don't want to do this Regents geometry because it's really hard, and it is, okay? You can always switch over to that. Are there any questions on this one? Okay. All right. So this is a document that you'll take home and have mom and dad sign or what have you, okay? So the course description, let's take a look at that, okay? It's an alternative second, right? Because I told you that there's another geometry, right? So they have an alternative once you get past algebra, right? You can take this Regents geometry or the principles of geometry. It's highly rigorous. We talked about that, okay? So if you were here, you expected to have all of these qualities, a high level of mathematical competence, okay? Hopefully you passed algebra a little bit more than a 65, right? Because you're gonna need some skill and ability, right? Responsibility, independence. This is the kind of class where the teacher stops chasing you down for things that you've missed, for example. You're absent, okay? You come to me, I don't come to you. Frankly, I don't care, you know? You miss something, don't turn it in. It's just less grading I have to do, okay? Because you're in big kid school now, right? We're trying to treat you like adults. But Kaya, there you are. Okay, then there's a list of topics we're going to cover, but it's not exclusive, okay? Now, if it turns out after some time in here that you're not demonstrating sufficient ability to be successful in the course, then I'll, talk to you and recommend that you switch over, even if you haven't thought of it yourself, okay? Kind of tell after a while, and you can set the chops and who doesn't. And again, there's no shame in it, right? Everyone's got their own things that they're good at and not so good at, okay? Disregard this, since you are here now before January, if you pass this course right now, you are exempt from the Regents requirement, right? Okay, because you would have been sitting in a class designed to take that Regents exam in January, and the state recently said, no, everyone's exempted from that exam, which means it's almost like taking it and having passed it, okay? And the next year, you only have to pass the Algebra 2 exam. Advanced designation, okay? But again, even if you switch over to the other non-Regents 2 math classes, you still will be eligible for your Regents exam. It's not the advanced designation. What good that does you, I don't know, the advanced designation on it, a lot of top 10 kids are battling to get into good schools and get the good jobs and all that kind of thing. I don't know. Other than that, it's maybe about 45 seconds of pride at the graduation ceremony. Mom and dad say, advanced designation, great. I have some uncles, great. And then means nothing, right? I'll leave that up to you. Okay, on to attendance. It's critical, okay? I mean, I have the stuff on the team's website. You can go back over it, but even that's not nearly as good as being here with me every day. So, and also, if you miss a day in here, at the accelerated schedule we're on, it's the equivalent of missing 2 or 3, sometimes 4 days of stuff, one day, okay? Because when it's 6.5 weeks and some change, something like that, we've got to try and cover as much as possible, okay? So if you're not going to be here, get online, okay? You're still responsible for watching the videos on Teams and getting the work turned in. A lot of kids say, well, I was absent for a week. You mean I have to still do all that homework? Well, yeah, because everyone else that was here has to do it. And for you to get the same credit, you have to do all the work that they did, okay? And do it correctly, okay? All right, on to tests and quizzes. I expect that you'll be here for every test and quiz. It won't be too many quizzes, okay, because we don't have a whole lot of time. Maybe 1 or 2 I'll squeeze in there, so we'll talk about tests then. I assume that you'll take them as they schedule. They'll come at the end of every chapter, okay? If you are not here and you need to reschedule, you need a good reason. It can't just be, I feel like you're coming in that day. No, it's got a legal excuse. Spleen fell out or something, right? Which means you got to come in to me, have that spleen in a jar with your name on it. So this is what fell out on my floor when I got up on test day. Please give me a chance to reschedule, and then I'll think about it. Okay? It's got to be your spleen. You can't use someone else's. All right? The best thing to do is get a hold of me before, like if you know you're going to be absent beforehand and make arrangements. That's the best thing. But, if it happens, that day you're real sick, you got to be out because you got exposed or something like that, and get back with me as soon as possible when you get back, or email me or something like that, okay, afterwards. So if you do miss something, I do require that you make it up within 4 school days of your return. That 4 school days is when this was all geared towards a regular school year, so I don't know, I have to kind of fudge it. Because in 4 school days, we'll be on another couple of chapters probably beyond what you missed. So we'll have to take a lot of this as it comes, okay? If I don't hear from you, remember, I'm not going to chase you down, right? In little kids' school down at that, I don't know what goes on down there, right? But if you missed a test or quiz or homework or something, I think the teachers would just hound you and follow you and say, hey, little Billy, you missed this stuff. I've got other things to do, right? The big kids now, yes, right? You miss it, who comes to who? You'll come to me, right? Say, when can I make this up? And we'll work out a time, okay? All right? Homework. So homework will be assigned and collected daily. So in every chapter, it's made up of different sections. And at the end of every section will be homework assignments. Now, given the way the school year is going now, I will, for many of the assignments, give you some time in class to do them and turn them in. We'll go over them, right? But most days there will also be, we'll do the last section of the day. There'll be an assignment to take home. We'll go over that first thing in the morning, okay? And that's the best way to learn math, okay? Learning math is a lot like playing a sport, learning a sport. Anybody here play sports, okay? So the parts of your brain that get activated or need to be activated to learn math are the same parts of your brains that need to be activated to learn some skill in a sports setting or an athletic setting. Okay? So for example, I can stand up here all day long and diagram for you and show you the proper mechanics for shooting a foul shot. Now I'll ask you, when I get done doing all that up here, how many think they will go down to the gym and hit, 20 out of 20? I don't think so, Mr. DeLille. Not from what I tell you, right? What do you actually have to do after I get done explaining? What would you think? Go down and practice, right? Shoot 100 of them a night, right? For a little while, then go back and say, all right, I get my 20 or 19 out of 20 or whatever. So math homework's kind of the same way, right? You got to do them over repetition for problems, okay? And that is what trains those parts of your brain. So it's very, very important, okay? Now, I grade homework on a 10-point scale, 0 to 10, okay? 0 is you didn't turn it in, it was complete gibberish, okay? It didn't make any sense whatsoever. And you don't get credit, I guess, like you're used to for turning in some piece of paper with your name on it. That doesn't give you credit, okay? The actual work has to be there. You have to demonstrate you knew what you're doing, or you can find out what you need to do and fix it, that kind of thing, okay? So all work must be neatly shown, all problems attempted, okay? Now, late homework, again, this is kind of for a regular school year, but kind of follow it. One day late, you get half credit on it. After a day late, 0, unless you have a legal excuse, okay? So you need to, talk to me about that. But as always, even though I have these rules in place about reading half and no credit, right? If you come and talk to me, right? I know a lot of times I give the example of you play a sport and say, God, Mr. Hefner, the bus didn't get in from East Blue Lake until 11:30 last night. I just didn't have the wherewithal to get it. I get that, right? I'll give you some more time to do it, okay? Even though it's not really a legal excuse, your best bet is to come just talk to me. And I get it in later, this happened or that happened. It's kind of a good excuse. All right? So if you communicate with me, I can oftentimes violate my own rules here. All right? But it's up to you to communicate with me, not the other way around. Okay. So the course grading, this is how it breaks down. Tests will be 50% of your overall grade. Quizzes, 20. It won't be too many quizzes, all right, because of time constraints. Homework is 30%. It's a big chunk, okay? And I counted this 30 because I just said it's really important, right? So if something's important, you kind of want to make it a big percentage, okay? And never mind the final exam and state test, okay? Now, if I grade something, right, you disagree with it, like especially on a test, right? You say, oh, how come you took 2 points off for that? Well, just sit there and be quiet. Like if you think you got it right and I didn't see something you did, challenge me, right? Say, hey, I think this is right and convince me, and I'll be glad to give you the points back, right? On the other hand, if I forgot to mark something wrong that you knew you got wrong, come and see me. I'll mark it wrong for you. Right? You all do that, won't you? Of course you do. Probably not. I wouldn't do it. Okay? And my grades, I maintain them on a nearly real-time basis, right? I don't put them in a paper grade book and then some weeks later put it in the school tool. Pretty much the day you turn it in, with the afternoon class, maybe the next day, I'll have those in school too, so you can always keep up and see. what your current grade is, what you owe, that kind of thing. And I don't give, once you turn homework in, I don't give it back to you. It just ends up being a big mess. I put the grade in and toss it in the garbage can, okay? Tests, I'll give you back and let you see. I put the homework now. The only way we do homework, by the way, is like I'll sign a homework, right? And you'll do the homework? Yes.
You never give it back on test.
I gave back for everybody to see them, and then I recollect them, because not everybody can take them. They give them back, but, well, you can talk to me later. You won't see them either. Especially because, like, if not everybody took a test, they gotta have them back, so it takes into account. And then the way that this year is going, the next class is coming in, so I can't have them floating around as well, so. Where was I? What was I just talking about? Oh, real-time grades, real-time basis. What was I talking about?
From down on actual.
Right, yeah. So when I assign a homework, you know, and a lot of times in class you'll be able to have time to do it right. How are you going to know if you got them all right? Well, what I do is, after I give you time to work on it, or the next day when you come in, I put the actual answers up here on the board. Okay? All your pencils will be down. You won't be copying what I have there. Besides, you know, you won't have the work anyway. And you'll check what you have against what I have up here. Okay? And whatever you have not correct or didn't understand, at that time is when you raise your hand, say, Mr. Hopker, can you work through number 3 with us, or whatever it is, okay? And I'll go through that with you, and presumably you'll know how to do it after that. So when you turn an assignment into me, this is also a little different than what you're probably used to, right? I don't sit and look at your homework and check it for right answers and grade it that way. I'm assuming you guys now, as the responsible adults that I'm going to treat you as, have done that on your own, okay? Check up your answers, figured out how to fix it by either asking me or you know, eventually it comes to you, and turned it in correct. I'm assuming that when you do it, right? Because it's no skin off of my nose. Like if you didn't know how to do a particular problem, and then you see that problem on a test, then whose issue is it? Mine or yours? Yours, right? Right? So you want to be able to fix that issue that you are unsure of before you see it on an actual test. Because on a test, on test day, I don't answer any questions. You might be used to, you know, sit down and take a test in baby school over there where you, in the middle of the test, you raise your hands. I don't understand how the teacher comes over and gives you hints or something. Maybe does that sound right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating. No, it's a test. It's a test to see what you know, not what I know. If I come and help you, then I'm testing what I know. I should just give myself the grade, right? No. So the homework is when you figure out how to do things, all right? And that's the responsibility you're going to have as near adults. I mean, you're like primates now, you're kind of underdeveloped primates now, and soon you'll develop and evolve into something more resembling human primate when you get done with me, okay? So make sure that you, with your homework, understand everything on it before you give it to me. And a lot of times what happens is, you know, kids will say, Mr. Hefner, I get how to do this section of the homework now. Can I have some more time to fix it and give it to you tomorrow? That's fine with me, right? Well, you know how to do it. You give it to me the next day after we figured out how to get you to fix it, okay? Supplies needed, textbook, I'll give that to you. Pencils, does anyone here not have a pencil today? All right, so pencils, the only thing allowed for working here is pencil, okay? No pens. We don't do pen work, okay? Now, the calculators, we have them here in class, and they look like this. We don't have to use these fancy TI Inspires that do all the actual math work for you, because you'll do the actual math work, not this thing. If I was going to teach you a class with this, I should rename the class calculator class. And then during the exam, we'll just put all the desks in the gym, and we'll set a calculator on each desk, and you won't have to come and let the calculator take the exam. I exaggerate, of course, right? But really, all you're going to need is this little guy right here, okay? If you all take a look under your desk in the little thing there, you should find one of these, a ruler, and a compass. Take a look now and make sure all that's in there. These are for here in class, right? Not to be, don't take that out of the desk and go home with it, okay? There's an online calculator that does a lot, you know, like what this will do. You know, I'll show you that link here at some point, okay? We do a lot of constructions with the compass that's in there. A lot of times kids won't have one at home. And if you need to bring one home, you know, I can let you borrow one of these, you know, less expensive ones, okay? Take home with you and they'll get the job done. But in the meantime, in class, you have one of those nice little high-end compasses down there in your desk in a straight edge, okay? All right. So this stuff's in your desk. If anybody needs something at home, let me know later. All exams, quiz, homework must be done in pencil. Anything that you turn into me that's in pen, it shortens my day because I just put a 0 on it and I move on. Okay? You do math in pencil. Why? Well, because what can you do with pencil you can't do with pen? Erase it. You make a mistake, you don't have to scribble the whole thing out and try to squeeze it into some margin over there where I then can't make out what the hell you did. Okay? So you erase it, you redo it, that kind of thing. Everything's done in pencil. The notes, you're responsible for taking your notes each day. We go through them. They'll be in the book that I give you, okay? We'll do them up here as we go along. You'll fill them in. If you miss a day, you can get the notes off the team's website, copy them into your book, okay? You can watch the whole darn video. You copy them as you watch the video, all right? So I'm not gonna, if you're asking, I'm not gonna say, hey, did you need the notes? Did you get the notes, little Billy? You want to get the notes? No. I got other things to do again, right? You come to me or you get on Teams and get a copy them down, right? All right, what's on the next page here? Participation behavior. Expect you to participate in class means asking questions, offering ideas, solutions, right? Okay? Behavior I won't tolerate. Cheating, speaking or otherwise communicating during exams or quizzes. No foul language, no chatting with friends, no leaving your seat unless I excuse you, no headphones, disruption, subordination, no disrespecting others. So that falls under the categories. There's no, you know, stupid answer. If I ask a question in class, some kids have done their best to prove me wrong about that theory. But like, if you're gonna make fun of someone for what you think is a stupid answer, I just ask you to remember, none of you have been accepted to MIT yet. Okay, including the kid that you think made a stupid answer. All right. So just keep that in mind. School dress code, no wearing hats, no sleeping. Down here, this is important. Notice it's in bold and capital letters. Cell phones are prohibited in this room. Everybody get that? Not to be near you, on you, in your person, in your bag, or anything like that. So if anyone has a cell phone, you see these pockets up here? You take that phone, put it in here when you first come in, and that's what will stay at the end of class, okay? You will survive one class without your cell phone. Now, we have had to do CPR on a couple of kids, right? Because they went into convulsions without their phone, but they made it, okay? They survived, and you will too, okay? So if I see it with you, it'll be a conduct form, all right, for having it on you. Because you say, well, it's stupid, so I'm not on it. I don't want to have to sit and worry and monitor what you're on or not, okay? We've got too many other important things to do, so it'll just stay up there. So in fact, I would say right now, let's everyone get your phone, put it in there. You might, probably the best way is like your calculator in there has a number on it, right? And maybe put your phone in the same number pocket up here. That way you don't, you know, if you forget, you just look at your, on the top edge of the calculator should be a number. See it? Okay? And sometimes the argument is, well, if my mom and dad need to get a hold of me in school, well, they can contact the office, and then the office will in turn say, okay, they're in here, and they'll call the room here. They, you know, someone needs to go down to the office, call the office, something like that, okay? But I'm not going to be in the room. All adults will be dressed properly when you're in my presence, Mr., Mrs., Ms., etc. Okay, I don't want to. You haven't earned it yet to address an adult here or anywhere by their first name or by their last name alone. Okay, right? We're not on the same level, not yet. Someday it will be. Today is not that day. Okay, so until that day, you know, show respect for, you know, people that put in a lifetime of work before you. Okay. Respect your elders. In fact, you know, I'm 50 years old. I've been roaming this planet for half a century, and there's still teachers that I've had here. When I was in school here, I see them around, and it's Mr. or Mrs. whatever. I can't stop it. That's it, because I don't feel like I've earned their level yet, right? So keep that in mind. Do not write on my desk. These are brand new desks. Don't write on them, okay? don't write on them. I will end you. They're not to be written on. You can write something down, get on a piece of paper, all right? Okay. Classroom supplies are not allowed to leave the room, right? Don't leave with the calculator, compass, straight edge, that kind of thing. You book, of course, right? You need that when you go home. If you need someone with one of these items to go home with, let me know, right? We'll set you up with something somehow, whether it's like the web version of the calculator or, you know, one of the compasses like I talked about, okay? If you borrow something up front, it's not really going to be an issue now because I've pretty much given you everything you need. But like if you borrow something up front, don't leave it laid on your desk so I have to put it away. Okay? Be a big kid and put it away yourself. And never mind this because no one's like coming by to leave their stuff in my room for practice later on. Academic honesty. Okay? That policy will be strictly enforced in here. I hate cheating. I hate cheaters. I hate people who cheat. What does that mean to cheat? It means not doing your own homework, something like that, looking on someone else's test. I have no respect for you. If you pass a test by cheating or homework, I have no respect for you. If you fail a homework or test by not cheating on your own devices, I love you to death, okay? I'll help you get to where you need to be to pass it on your own next time, okay? But if somebody comes to you and says, hey, can I copy your homework class? You know what should happen in your head? You should say, hell no. I worked my butt off on that homework, and now you just want to copy it? Man, I did the work out of it. Why would you let one of your buddies abuse you like that, right? Somebody asked you for your homework to copy. You should get out of my face. Do your own. That's the kind of indignity that I would have if somebody asked, and I've been asked before when I was your age. Well, take a hike, right? I'm the one that sat up till 11:30 last night doing this. You want to wander here? I don't think so, okay? But, you know, not always the easiest thing to catch, but I've got some things I can spot, right? And it's happened actually the last 2 marking periods. And when I see that, everyone gets a zero, man. Everybody. The person who gave it, the person who copied it, whatever. All zeros. Okay? So don't do that. Okay, so you'll take this home. Get it signed, you know, you sign and print it. Print your name so I can, some of your signatures, there's no way, some of your printing I can't read, but at least print it. Parent, guardian, sign, print, okay? And also these things here to support, right? All these hot items here. See, it says student, parent, initials. Just initial each one of those. Yes, ma'am.
You want me to turn it in again?
Yep, one more for this mark period. Absolutely. Okay?